the Tunguska Enigma. It was an ordinary morning on June 30th, 1908, in the remote forests of Siberia. The air was still, and the world seemed to be untouched by time, far from the bustling cities. Few people lived in the vast wilderness near the Podkamenia Tunguska River. But that morning, something extraordinary was about to happen, something that would puzzle the world for over a century. Without warning, a blinding flash of light filled the sky. It was as if the sun itself had exploded. Moments later, a deafening roar echoed through the land, shaking the very earth beneath their feet. The trees around the river began to tremble, then fell, one after another, as if giant hands had swept through the forest. The blast sent shock waves across the land, and the sky itself seemed to crackle with energy. Strangely, no one was hurt. The area was sparsely populated, and the explosion had happened in the wilderness where only a few people lived. They were far enough away that the blast, though intense, didn't claim any lives. But the event left behind a mystery that no one could solve. The trees, some of them centuries old, had been knocked down in every direction, flattening over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Despite the enormous destruction, no crater was left behind, and there were no fragments of the object that caused the explosion. In fact, no one even knew what caused it. Scientists from around the world soon became obsessed with the mystery of what had happened in Siberia that day. They proposed several theories, each more intriguing than the last. The meteorite or comet theory. Most scientists believe the explosion had been caused by a meteorite or comet crashing into Earth. The idea was that an object from space had entered the atmosphere, exploded high above the ground, and released an immense amount of energy. The blast was so powerful it could have been equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, about 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. However, there was one big problem. No crater had been found, and no fragments of the object had been recovered. This was highly unusual because meteorites or asteroids that enter the Earth's atmosphere almost always leave some kind of remnant behind. Some scientists suggested the object might have been a comet, made mostly of ice and dust. If this were the case, the object could have vaporized completely in the atmosphere, leaving no trace on the ground. But that didn't explain everything either. Why hadn't any smaller pieces or debris been found in the area? The black hole theory. As bizarre as it seemed, some speculated that the explosion was caused by a small black hole passing through Earth's atmosphere. A micro black hole would be small enough that it wouldn't leave a crater, but it would still cause an explosion if it passed through our planet's atmosphere. The idea seemed far-fetched, and no evidence of a black hole was found, but the mystery remained, and the theory continued to captivate imaginations. Could it be possible that something as strange and invisible as a black hole was responsible for this event? The secret weapon theory. Others wondered if the explosion was a result of a secret weapon test, possibly conducted by the Russian Empire or the Soviet Union, though the Soviet Union did not yet exist in 1908. Some even proposed that early rocket or weapon experiments could have gone horribly wrong. However, there was no classified evidence to support this, and the idea that the explosion was caused by a military test was largely dismissed. The UFO theory. Theories began to grow even stranger. Some people believe the explosion might have been caused by a UFO, an alien spacecraft, or even some form of extraterrestrial technology. After all, witnesses had reported seeing strange lights in the sky just before the explosion, adding weight to the idea that an alien ship had malfunctioned. However, no physical evidence of a UFO was found, and the mystery only deepened. Was it possible that Earth had experienced an encounter with beings from another world? Or was this simply an explanation born of the human desire to seek something beyond the ordinary? The gas explosion theory. Some scientists proposed a more grounded explanation. Perhaps the explosion was caused by a release of gas from beneath the Earth's surface. Deep below the ground, natural gas deposits or methane pockets might have built up and, when released, exploded with devastating force. This could explain the blast, but not the strange light displays seen in the sky or the unusual atmospheric effects that were observed across the globe. The lingering mystery. Despite the years of research, the Tunguska event remains unsolved. No single theory has been proven, and the absence of physical evidence continues to frustrate scientists and enthusiasts alike. The explosion was one of the most powerful events in modern history, yet the true cause still eludes us. Some scientists continue to search for answers, while others have begun to wonder if the event was simply too extraordinary to ever fully understand. What we do know is this: June 30th, 1908, was a day that changed the world. A day when something unknown and incredible took place in the skies over Siberia. The Tunguska event is not just a historical anomaly. It's a riddle that still haunts us, reminding us that there is much about our world that remains unexplained.